Picture the internet going down at a busy cafe. Around you, people frantically refresh their screens to get the internet back. There's panic in the air. People start fidgeting as if they have encountered a glitch in their body. But you just sip your coffee. You look out the window, you wait. You don't melt down because you remember a world where instant wasn't the only option. This isn't about being out of touch or to show that you are above everyone else. This is the psychology of someone raised in the 1970s. You aren't stubborn. You aren't indifferent to your surroundings. It's just that you were trained by an analog environment, a world where boredom existed, where privacy existed, a world where you learned to regulate yourself because there wasn't a device coming to rescue your every feeling. Researchers call this the cohort effect. Simple definition: the era that raises you quietly shapes your expectations, coping style, and what your brain labels as normal. Back then, entertainment didn't chase you. You had to chase it. You had to make plans, keep them, and tolerate being unreachable. Numbers lived in your head, not your contacts. If you were bored, you had to invent a game. That wired a specific confidence. I can handle empty space. It taught you that you can solve small problems and that you don't need an audience to exist. That stays with you forever. So here are the clearest signs your psychology was shaped in the 70s. Habit 1. You have a high tolerance for dead air. To you, silence isn't awkward, it's just silence. Waiting isn't a failure, it's just part of the day. You can sit in a room without reaching for stimulation because you grew up practicing that muscle. That's not boredom, that's tolerance. While the modern world feels the need to fill every second with noise, you are comfortable sitting with your own thoughts. Habit 2. You trust competence more than polish. You grew up seeing how things worked. If the car broke down, you looked under the hood. If you got lost, you read a map. Your brain respects things that are real and useful, such as a person who can fix a sink, drive a stick shift, cook without a tutorial, not just things that look good on a profile. Habit 3. You keep parts of life unposted. Not because you're secretive, but because you learned early on that privacy is a form of dignity. You know that not everyone deserves access to you. Habit 4. You read rooms like a second language. There were no emojis to explain how someone felt. You had to read the room. You learned tone, posture, and timing just by playing outside until the streetlights came on. That makes you good at sensing when something is off and quick to disengage when it is. Habit 5. You stay steady when things get messy. Not because you don't feel stress, because you're familiar with imperfection. Plans changed. Adults were human. Life was less curated. Your nervous system learned problems happen, and we handle them. And today, the modern world often misreads all of this. The external world is loud now, fast now, always available now. It rewards instant answers, constant updates, and emotional broadcasting. Your internal world runs on something ancient and steadier: self-reliance, privacy, and a slower metabolism of attention. But there's a shadow side to this people don't name. Sometimes your ability to just handle it comes from a place of deep solitude. Sometimes your independence is really fear of needing anyone. If you learned early that emotions were inconvenient, you may still default to silence when you're hurting. Just remember, you don't need to become a different person. You don't need to be made modern. So if you grew up in the 1970s, your brain isn't outdated. It's calibrated for reality, not performance. If this felt accurate, comment one habit you still have from that era, and follow for more psychology videos. What do you miss most about life before everything was online?